Hello, how are you? It is great to be here with you this morning. I'm hoping that the technical gremlins that we had the past couple of weeks are slipping away. Today is a day about you in this practice, and we're going to focus on a metta meditation of self love. And then we're going to do some gentle yoga, which also incorporates that concept. So what I'd like you to do, which I'm not going to do, is go ahead and lie on your back. You can also sit with your back against the wall, making sure you have any props you might need for runner's lunge and that sort of thing. Making sure you're warm enough. Maybe have a glass of water next to you. This is Karen coming to you from Vermont Salt and Sand Studios, right in the middle of Vermont, Mad River Valley. So on your back, let's first start connecting with the earth, allowing the body to calmly relax, to melt down, maybe to get a little heavy. So feeling the heels, the backs of the calves, the glutes, the shoulder blades, the back of the head, and the backs of the arms on the ground. The sense of touch, the sense of heaviness, the sense of being right here in this moment, in this space, conscious that this is all that matters right now. Take a big breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and let it go. Breathe in and out. If you can, shrug your shoulders up to your ears on this breath in. Let it go. Notice now the feet and the toes. What is it about your feet that you love? They carry your weight. They help you get around. They help you stand up. For some of us, maybe love comes to the feet a couple times, maybe once a month at best with a pedicure. But for others of us, rarely at all. We don't really consider the feet. What do you love about the feet? The ankles. What will cause you to bring kindness to your ankles? They help you stay sturdy. Even if you don't have the best balance, they give you the balance that you have. They enable you to walk in whatever way your body walks. The knees. Where would we be without our knees? The bee's knees. A little love for the knees. Hips. Even if you've had your hips replaced or they don't work the way they used to, or one is a little fussy and the other one is okay. Our hips also allow us to move about. They allow us to do our forward folds in yoga. The shoulders. Some of you might have frozen shoulder or some difficulty, or again, a shoulder replacement or arthritis. But your shoulders are still there for you. Elbows. Wrists. What can you love about your wrists? Maybe you simply love what they look like. You appreciate them for enabling your hands to move. Fingers. All the joints in the fingers and the thumb. Sometimes we might be frustrated by things, as I mentioned earlier, like arthritis or Parkinson's, whatever it might be. Your fingers are still there for you. The cranium. This beautiful space that holds your gray matter, your thinking, your automatic responses. Take a big, big, big breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, let it go. I'm going to lift the arms toward the sky. Let them settle into your shoulders. Let the shoulder blades kiss the ground. Next, inhale, arms up overhead. And then we're going to take a big stretch. Point your toes forward and your fingers back. Breathe in as fully as you can. Stretch, 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 stretch. Let everything go. Arms by your sides. Breath out. A little working of your head, left and right. Feel the connection with the earth. And if you like, not required, but if you like, a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart. And notice how the breath changes the shape of the body. Without even trying, for the most part. We're going to work into our Metta meditation, and I will provide the words. You might, on the second and third rounds, repeat them to yourself in your head or aloud, whatever works for you. Let the breath come effortlessly. And we're going to breathe in, breathe out. May you be happy. May you show kindness to yourself. May you feel loved. May you give love. May you be happy. May you be kind to yourself. May you give love. May you feel loved. May I be happy. May I be kind to myself. May I give love. May I feel loved. Full breath in. Complete breath out. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat. The knees point toward the sky. And go ahead and gather the knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Find circles with the ankles, first in one direction and then in the other, 3 to 5 each direction. Maybe while you're doing that, you can open and close your toes, almost like you're making a toe fist, which sounds kind of weird. And then we're going to pause, place the hands under the low back with the palms on the ground, and let the shins come parallel to the earth. I'll join you in this, so perhaps you can, if you need to clap down, if you need to see what that looks like. Fussing around a clock. You're going to reach the heels forward, drop the shoulders toward the hips. So you've opened up your collars and your collarbones and your shoulders a bit. Now we're going to use the belly a lot and take the knees about 10 or 15 degrees to the left. You don't want the right glute to come off the mat or the low back on the right side. So you might not come very far. See if you can keep your shins parallel to one another and your thighs parallel to one another. Very slowly, inhale, draw the knees up. Exhale, knees tilt to the other side. Doesn't matter how deep you go. We're just finding a little core work, warming up the big muscles of the body. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees tilt left side. Inhale, knees up. Exhale, knees tilt right side. This time, inhale, knees up. Tilt the knees 10 or 15 degrees. Remove your hands and spread your arms out In a T with the palms up, draw the belly in, and really slowly draw the knees all the way down to the left, so you're coming onto the left. Take the right hand, sweep it up, and have it meet the palm of the left, so you're all. Imagine you could massage the inside of your arm with your right hand, so you're drawing it toward your wrist, up the inside of the lower arm. You're starting to turn a little bit onto the left shoulder blade. The right hand comes to the inner elbow. And as it draws up the bicep into the shoulder, you're coming all the way onto your spine. Massage across your collarbones. Come to the right shoulder and flop your hand out. Your head will follow. A nice, gentle, relaxing root to a twist. Breathe in and out. You might find a little stretch in your inner thigh on the right side. We now bring this length of the spine back to the mat, the knees point toward the sky. You might need to shift your hips a little to the left. I want to take that on the other side. Hands by your side, palms down. Shins come parallel to the earth, or your calves parallel to the earth more explicitly. We draw the right knees, we draw the knees to the right 10 degrees. Hold. Bring the arms out wide, palms up, and slowly draw the knees over to the right. Now the left hand meets the palm of the right. We're all the way on the right side, and we take a nice full cycle of breath. And then we begin the same massage, gliding the left hand to the right wrist, up the inner lower arm, to the inner elbow. You're starting to roll onto the right shoulder blade. Keep gliding that hand through up through the bicep to the shoulder. And now as it starts to cross your collarbone, you're coming to your back. And once the left hand reaches the left shoulder, you can flop it out. The head follows. Big breath in. And a full breath out. Twists are so good for digestion, for the spine, wringing out toxins. Soles of the feet to the mat, spine all the way on the mat. Shift your hips as needed. And now we're going to come all the way over onto the left side. Returning to our Metta. May I be happy. May I be kind to myself. May I give love. May I feel loved. Go ahead and bring to mind your intention for your practice, or maybe what brought you to your mat today. Let that sink in. And very gently, you're going to use your top hand to press yourself to a comfortable seat, Sukhasana. If you need to sit on a cushion or a rolled up blanket or something, feel free. We're now going to do a little more neck and head and arm work before we meet, and then we'll follow that, of course, with child's before we meet in downward dog. All right. We're going to take a look over the left shoulder. Breathe. Unclench your jaw. We're going to come forward and look over the opposite shoulder. Chin will come forward. Drop your hands. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Send them forward. And as you breathe out, send them down and back. We'll take 2 more of those. Shrug them up. Breath in. Reach the shoulders forward. Breathe out. Shoulders release. And one more time. We're going to take that backward. Shoulders up. Back and down. Let them go. Up. Back and down. And once again. Arms out. Get bigger in your space. Flip the palms upward. Send the palms forward and let them meet. Draw the shoulders back. Imagine you could squeeze something between your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the arms high. Exhale, drop your right hand. Fingertips on the ground. Get super tall. Exhale, tilt over to the right. Inhale, lift up both arms nice and tall and long. Wiggle the fingers. And the opposite hand drops. We reach down and up and tilt. Rise back up, cactus-shaped arms. Lower the shoulders from the ears. Drop your hands behind you. You might press your hands into the ground with the fingers pointing toward your bottom. Tilt the pelvis forward. Lift the torso. Shine the heart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. A little back bend. Maybe your head drops back. Draw the belly in. Shoulders over the hips. Interlace or hook your fingers. Draw the knuckles toward the earth. And we find a forward fold. Perhaps the hands float from the body. Maybe not, but you maintain your bind. So we've taken all the movement of the spine. So we'll rise back up. May I be happy. May I be kind to myself. May I give love. May I feel loved. Child's pose. I'll meet you there. And in your child's, allow yourself to really relax into it. If you feel like your knees hurt or you can't quite get your bottom close to your heels, maybe you roll up a blanket or take a bolster or a pillow and bring it behind your thighs. And then send the sitting bones back. Arms forward, forehead to the earth. Rock your forehead a little left and right, maybe repeating your intention or your motivation. All right, we're going to come into a forearm tabletop. Drawing the elbows right underneath your shoulders. Knees as wide as your hips, feet as wide as your knees. Cats and cows. You can bring other movement into it if you like. Oops, better take this off, otherwise you can't hear me. And if you like, I don't know, the letter C left and right, or hula hoop motions with your hips, just let the body guide you. This is kindness to yourself. All right, we're going to settle in with a nice long spine, so a little tuck of the tailbone, some real estate between your shoulder blades. Send the right foot long behind you, but keep the ball of the foot on the mat. Really stretch out the calf, the back of the knee, the sole of the foot, the toes. And if you like, you could take a little rock forward and backward which will also bring strength into the upper arms and the shoulders because you're pressing the ground away from you. Next time shoulders come over wrists, we're going to float the right leg off the mat. Hips are squared up. Reach your heel behind you. Draw your right knee toward your right tricep, your upper arm. Inhale, extend. Sweep the right leg over the left calf, and then place the shoelace side of the foot onto the ground so your legs are crossed. Draw the front of the right hip toward the left heel. Stretch, I love. Your arms might have to come back a little bit. And you might think, ugh, I hate this. There's so much stretch in my left glutes. But this is actually kindness to yourself. Allowing the glutes to find some freedom, which tends to open up the back a bit more. You can always tuck the right toes under to float the knee off the mat. That will give you a deeper stretch. We're going to come back to our three-legged forearm tabletop. Bend the right knee. Imagine you're stepping on the sky, and then pump that leg slowly up and down, working the quads, working the glutes, working the hamstrings. And the knee returns to the mat. Cat and cow, cow and cat. Which came first, the chicken or the egg? Line up the knees. Strong, powerful, straight back. Left leg extends, ball of the foot on the earth. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Draw the belly in. Rock forward and backward. Shoulders come over the elbows. Left leg floats. Heel reaches behind. You're pressing into the mat with the shoelace side of the right foot. Hips are square. Use your belly. Use your glutes. We cross the left leg over the right calf as far as we can, and then drop the shoelace side of that left foot onto the earth. Orient yourself. Notice where the front of the left hip is, and then glide it toward the right heel. You might need to move your arms back as I mentioned before. Tucking the left toes to lift the left knee if you like. Come back to your three-legged tabletop with your forearms on the mat. Square up your hips, bend your left knee, step on the clouds, and slowly pump the knee up and down. Beautiful. Knee returns to the mat. We come to our regular tabletop onto our hands and knees. If you need any movement, take it here. Walk the hands forward just a couple inches. Tuck your toes under. Send your bottom toward your heels. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Drop your head. Maybe you're gazing at your knees or your navel. Bring your nose pointing to the earth now. And slowly lift the hips, pressing your feet into the earth for a downward facing dog. Woo. Maybe pedal. Maybe move left and right. Let's peel forward to a high plank and pause. Exhale, downward dog. Walk to the front of your mat. Ragdoll or any other bind you like, take that here, maybe with a sway. Release your hands to the mat, glide into the shins or the calves for a halfway lift. We're looking for a long, strong spine. The navel moves in toward the back. Sitting bones reach behind you. Shoulders reach toward your hips. Your bottom might be a little lower than it was when you were in your forward fold. Breathe in. Exhale, release. 2 more. Last one. Gently unfold, unravel all the way to standing. And allow the arms to float overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart, Samastihi. Feel the energy from the earth connecting to your feet. Maybe allowing the inner arches of the feet to lift a little away from the earth. And that energy drives up the inseams into the hips, lengthens the body, the torso, stacking the shoulders over the hips. Did I say knees over hips? Knees over ankles. Hips over knees. Shoulders over hips. May I be happy. May I be kind to myself. May I give love. May I feel love. Drop your hands, sweep them up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, step back, high plank, pause. Big breath in, long and strong. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice work. Breathe in. And out. 2 more. Chest energy toward your thighs. And now we peel forward, high plank. Drop your knees. You're not in a tabletop. Untuck your toes. Reach the heart past your thumbs so the elbows are bent a little bit. And then slowly, keeping the elbows in toward the ribs, come down, nose, chin, chest. You might need to glide your legs longer to get the hips there. Beautiful. Breathe in. And out. Bring your feet a little bit wider. And it's going to be yogi's choice here. A shallow back bend, a deep back bend, somewhere in between. So you want the forehead, chin, and chest to lift off the mat, maybe a little bit. Maybe the ribs join in. Elbows in toward your rib cage. Breathe. Come all the way down to the mat and turn one cheek to the mat. We look to the other side of the mat. You're welcome to take a locust or a sphinx or any other back bend that suits you right now. Just don't go too deeply. We haven't done a lot of shoulder or back opening yet. We're using the back bends to help with that. Take your second back bend. Return to the mat. One cycle of breath here before your final back bend. If you like, and you're doing cobra, you might bring your hands backward a little more toward your rib cage. And inhale. Lift up. All the way down to the mat, downward facing dog. Make your way back to the front of your mat, forward fold. Float to standing, and once the arms reach high, we're going to take them into a cactus shape. Sit into chair pose, Utkatasana, and know that the sitting bones are sort of reaching behind the heels. Imagine you have a block between your thighs. You don't have to squeeze the knees together. Rise up to your tiptoes. Keep your balance. Doesn't matter if you fall out. Sink a little deeper. Bring your heels down. Eagle arms, right elbow underneath the left. One wrap or two. Stay seated. I'm going to take a twist over to the right. Come front and center. And a twist over to the left. Front and center. Rise up, arms overhead. Twinkle fingers. Let the fingers interlace. Press the palms to the sky. A tilt to the right. Keep pressing both feet all the way into the earth. A little extra energy into the outer edge of the left foot. Rise back up nice and tall. Exhale, a tilt to the other side. Rise up, release the hands, cactus shape, arms, chair pose once again. This time you lean into the heels and see if we can float the toes off the mat. Spread them nice and wide. And starting with the pinky toes, bring the toes down one at a time. It feels super awkward to me. It's hard to do, but just kind of work on it. Eagle arms, left elbow underneath the right. Sink deeper. A twist to the left. And forward. A twist to the right. Forward, hands at your hips. Find your fold. Lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana, long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot glides to the back of the mat. Nice long runner's lunge. Right knee above the right ankle. I almost said elbow. Right knee above the right elbow. Maybe blocks here. Blocks can be your best friends. Draw the belly energy away from your thigh. Really reach that left heel back. Big breath in. Extend your front leg. Fold over it. You might peel the sole of the foot off the mat, keeping the heel there. Inhale, come forward, runner's lunge. Open up that heart. Shine the collarbones. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Peel. Inhale, heart forward. And we take it one more time. Lengthen and fold. Runner's lunge. Left hand down, right arm floats high for your twist. Keep pressing that whole right foot onto the earth. If you need to, for the purposes of your shoulder or your neck, you can bring the heel of your right hand to your low back. Big tone onto that right foot is really pressing to the earth, and the left heel reach. Very slowly, we will drop the back knee to the mat. I've got to lengthen my stance to do that. And then untuck the toes. You want your right knee over your right ankle. We're going to bring the right hand to the mat. Half split. Scooting that right foot forward. Ideally, keeping your left hip over your left knee, unless you're super stretchy. Then you can bring the bottom toward the heel. Just like in the runner's lunge, we're reaching the heart forward, the shoulders toward the hips, finding a long spine, belly in. Moving into lizard, the hands come inside the right foot. We sneak that right foot back onto the mat. So you're in sort of an Anjaneyasana, but your right foot is all the way to the right of the mat. Peel the foot open like a book, so on the outside edge of the right foot. And then if it works for you, you can bring your hands forward and your forearms to a block, a cushion, or the mat. If you're feeling up to it, you could even bend into that left knee to find a quad stretch. The sole of the right foot comes back to the mat. The hands under the shoulders. We're going to take a wide-legged forward fold at the front of the mat. Point the toes out. Drop your bottom into a squat. Bring your forearms to your thighs. You can interlace your hands. And then we find some cats and some cows. Seeing if you can drop your bottom a little deeper. Hands to the mat. Feet come parallel. Heel toe of the feet toward one another. Halfway lift. And a forward fold. Step back, high plank. Low plank. Back bend. And a downward facing dog. Hop, skip, walk, jump to the front of your mat. Forward fold once again. Halfway lift. And a fold. This time the right foot glides to the back of the mat. Long and strong. Runner's lunge. Extend your front leg, fold over it, peel the ball of the foot off the mat, reach that right heel behind you. Inhale, come forward, heart reaches past the front of the mat, collarbones open. Exhale, lengthen, fold, peel the foot. Inhale, foot down, heart shines. Last one, exhale, lengthen and fold, peel. Inhale, foot down, heart forward, collarbones open. Right hand down on the mat, left arm high, twist. Remembering that the left hand can come to your low back, but really work that left foot onto the mat and that right heel behind you. Back knee to the earth. Left hand down, half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Lizard pose, hands inside the left foot onto the earth, to the outside edge of the mat. Peel that foot open like a book. Maybe the hands walk forward. Maybe they don't. And your quad stretch. If you took it on the other side. Foot returns to the mat, hands under your shoulders. Point the left toes to the left. We're going to come into a Malasana squat, or at least we're going to attempt to. I generally need to work a little left and right in support of opening the thighs. Elbows inside your thighs, palms together, nice long back. You're welcome to build in twists if you like here. or play around with crow. I'm going to stay put and breathe. Wherever you are, return into Malasana. Plant your hands on the ground, lift your bum, and see if you can either hop or step back to your high plank. Lower slowly all the way down to the mat. Nose, chin, chest, hips. Forehead on the mat, hands by your sides, palms face down. Walk the hands toward your feet, lengthening the neck. We're going to take locust in stages. You're welcome to either zip up your legs, so it's like one strong tree trunk, or spread your feet a little bit. So first, we're keeping the palms on the ground, the legs and the tops of the feet on the ground. Tilt the pelvis toward the earth. Lift the navel away from the mat. And on an inhale, forehead, nose, chin, collarbones, lift off the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, but keep the hands on the mat. Return all the way to the mat. This time the hands and the arms will join in. When you're ready on an inhale, forehead, nose, chin, collarbones, chest forward and up. And the arms float, the shoulder blades squeeze together. We breathe 5, 4, 3, use the belly, 2, and 1, all the way to the mat. You might turn your head for a breath in one direction. And the other. Forehead to the mat, last back bend. Inhale. Lift up, arms and hands join in. Thighs, knees, and feet join in, and we breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down to the mat and into a child's pose. We're going to make our way all the way onto our back. So you might creep the knees forward, shift onto a hip, and come all the way down to your back. Being sensitive to time. Feet on the ground, knees point toward the sky. Cross your right knee above your left, like you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. Draw your shoulder blades toward your hips. Let the arms splay out and the palms face up. You're going to shift the hips a little bit to the left and draw your knees over to the right. Gaze might turn to the left. Sole the left foot back on the mat, straighten your spine, and switch up the legs. Left knee over the right. Hips might shift a little to the right. Knees drop to the left, and gaze to the right. Sole the right foot onto the earth, spine returns, knees join together toward your chest. Give them a good squeeze, maybe some hip circles, knee circles. Big breath in and a full breath out. Find your Shavasana pose. Maybe that's with your feet on the floor, or maybe legs are long with something under your knees. The shoulders move toward the hips. Palms face up. We rest and inhale and an exhale. So much to love about our human forms. Unique from any other being in our universe. And even in their uniqueness, a non-symmetry, while we might look like family members or be identical twins, we are not 100% physically, chemically, movement-wise, brain-wise, exactly like anyone else, except we're all seeking happiness. May I be happy. May I be kind to myself. May I give love. May I feel loved. A nice big cycle of breath. Find your own way to a seat, either from your side or from your back. And we'll put our hands together, celebrating our uniqueness, our ability to love ourselves with an Om. Breathe all the air out of your lungs. Inhale fully. Thumb knuckles right to the center of your forehead. May you feel loved. Namaste. Thank you for joining live or the archive recording. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic remainder of your day or evening, and perhaps find that little Metta mantra and share it with yourself every single day. You are loved. Thank you.